get to building, guys. So today we have this Gundam Thunderbolt, high grade, high mobility type Psycho Zaku. This was a Black Friday deal, so not a pickup from Christmas, although, you know, kind of still within the season. The MG is awesome. Yeah, I would like to get that one eventually. It's a little pricey, and I did see it at the store the day that I got this. I did see it, and I was like, ooh, we're gonna hold off on that. But yeah, the MG is, yeah, it takes up a ton of space. That's a bit of a concern for me at this moment, because we are very close to reaching max limit in terms of space over at the Ippo Dempsey Roll Studios. But yeah, very cool. Let's just do some prep work in terms of labeling everything. You guys know the deal. Yeah, but it looks amazing. I love all the extra equipment this thing comes with. I like accessories. And after I finish building this, you know, it's up in the air in terms of if I'm going to actually just leave it as is or use the parts for something else. I feel more, well, on a case-by-case basis, but I feel okay about harvesting parts if it means I can make a custom. And even for something as cool as this, I wouldn't mind taking all the parts and using it for something else. Especially given the fact that there's a master grade, which I could then reserve for, like, you know, the lore build, if you want to call it that. And he hit your shelf limit twice since he's house. Damn. Yeah. We're kind of, my brother's been looking into, like, getting some kind of a new shelf. Gonna have to get something, a substitute for the D-top, because the D-tops aren't around anymore. At least not around these parts. Oh, you know what? I was also kind of thinking about, oh gosh, what am I gonna build? What's gonna be the first thing I do for the year? I don't know. What do I want to do? I'm not even sure, blah blah blah. And then I kind of settled on this notion that I should just work on something instead of worrying about this thing and that thing, about what will I do and what will be the first build. Let's just build, because in my experience, and I've definitely talked about this before, but it's always the answers that you're looking for are in the heart of battle. The answers you're looking for are usually arise from building. At least that's the case for me. Finish the Banshee. I believe in you. You can do it. I think you can do it. And as always, I'm always looking to just go at my own pace for the most part. I definitely felt a little, not burnt out, but I definitely needed to take a little break after, especially like the marathon sprint towards the end of the year, in terms of getting the ball drop build done, which I think I worked at a pretty normal pace for that, but it was everything else in terms of like getting ready, the you know, the slides and preparing all of this stuff, and then even including afterwards when it comes to like reposting all the work, making sure that the names are all correct, getting the video edited, again with the names, trying to ensure that everyone was like accounted for. This year, or rather last year, we had some people from like Twitter, or like, you know, the podcast sphere, different places getting involved. And so I felt like I got everyone, but you never really know if I miss someone. So that's something I'd like to kind of work on more, is being a bit more proactive about having all that organized as well put together. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, I try. I was like doing it by myself, so you know, I'm just trying. You know, I was just saying how, like, these last few days I've been having some difficulty thinking about what I wanted to build, and I finally settled upon this just because it would be it's kind of like the sweet spot of being an HG, so it's a little easier, but it's not like a walk in the park. There's going to be a lot of little details to tend to as I'm doing now, right? These thruster bells. And the other thing too is that time and time again, anytime I have an issue with like what am I gonna do next, I don't know what I'm gonna do, what to draw, what to build, what to paint. Sometimes the answers just lie within building and painting itself. If I don't know what to do, just keep on working on something, keep on building something, keep on painting something, and the answers kind of come from the act of creating something. I don't know what rationale there is behind that, but it's kind of like your brain is already on that track. Your brain is already kind of actively thinking about creating something, and so you're just kind of in that mindset of creating, and then from there on, you might actually understand and figure out what to do. I relied on that heavily. In fact, when it came to the my ball drop build, Choo Choo's Demi Trainer, I had a vague notion of what I wanted to do, but the more I built it, the more I kind of understood like the picture, the greater picture of how it was gonna pan out. But I'm kind of in a similar situation with video games as well. I kind of don't really know what am I going to do next in terms of games. I actually fired up Stardew Valley again for the first time in like a couple months. But then I was like, well, I don't know. This is a lot. There's a lot of work that needs to be done on the farm. Not sure if I know what I what I want to do on the farm. And so yeah, I'm kind of between games as well, thinking about what I want to do for games, but I should just play something. Old type, did it end up being what you had in mind? Yeah, I'd say that overall, like the vision that I had in my mind was pretty close, you know? Like, that's the thing that when you're someone that's worked or is working in a creative space, we're all people that are creating Gunpla here, that's how you get disappointed, is like when that original vision isn't the thing that is in front of you when you're finished, right? It's like, oh, it didn't come out as I pictured in my mind. And the more you do a thing, the more you draw, the more you paint, the more you build models, the closer you are to like getting that one-to-one vision, that overlap of like the vision that you had in your mind and the finished product. And so I would say that was pretty close, even though, like I said, at first I didn't have a concrete vision, that it kind of coalesced and came into shape the more I worked on it. And by the end, it was like, oh yeah, that's kind of how I pictured it. Even when it came to like the LED lights and stuff, I had this idea in mind that I was gonna poke the holes out and shine a light through it, right? And I actually went and bought a separate thing of like LED string lights, and I taped it all to the back, and it didn't look good. And what I ended up doing was using a light bulb, like a LED light bulb instead, to shine the light through. And that worked out a lot better. Although, you know, when I was taking the photos, I kind of had to get more light so that you could see the model itself. So the LEDs were kind of like maybe took a back seat a little bit. Just go where your heart takes you. That's how you get. That's how you end up with Night Traps. Yeah, Night Trap had no idea of what he was going to do, and finally when he showed me, I was like, "Whoa, holy smokes!" That was cool though. Old type. Yeah, yeah. Overall, pretty happy with that. The other thing too with that build was, again, it was like the end of the year, and I'm not looking to make something that's gonna be like what's the word? I'm not looking to make something where I'm gonna fuss over all the little nitty-gritty details, and instead I wanted to just get the bigger overall impression of what I was doing, right? And so I constantly had to stop myself and be like, okay, I don't have to go this far. I don't have to go to town on, like, you know, doing weathering and scratching on every single part or anything. You know, I just was constantly thinking about, like, if it started to feel like a slog, I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. I constantly had to tell myself that because again, it was supposed to be something that I was doing mostly for fun. Just working on the Psycho Zaku right now. HG. Maybe one day we'll get the MG, because the MG is looking awesome. How goes the model kit? Yeah, the model kit is going pretty well. It's the first build of 2024. I do have a handful of kits that are like partially built that I should also work on, but I kind of felt like new year, new me. Let's kind of fire up a new thing and get cracking on that. Let's make it something fun to work on. So that's why we're working on this right now. And I do like HG kits in some ways more than MGs, just because when they get that balance right of like the right amount of detail, but not like super obsessive small micro details that then get covered up and you never notice, which sometimes is the case for an MG. I really do enjoy that experience of an HG. For example, Moon Gundam is a great example of that, or the recent Witch from Mercury kit's another great example of very satisfying HG builds. Got your haircut? Nice. Haircuts are cool. All right. All right. Let's take a break, guys. We are almost at the 2-hour mark. We might as well take a little break because the next step requires all new parts, all new pieces to grab. Love the witch kits. Yeah, the witch kits are amazing. I have a handful of them, and the last thing I built them, as a matter of fact, was a witch kit, Choo Choo's Demi Trainer. So I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I'm wondering if they're gonna release more. I feel like they've kind of made practically everything at this point, in HG at least. So maybe they'll go on and make something else in full mechanics. I'm not sure. This goes on the backpack. I really do appreciate it. Tad Mazeltov with that